Hello! Today I want to talk to you about caring for new kids, specifically some of the more common things you might need to do in the weeks and months after birth. I'm going to apologize in advance in case this video gets a little crazy. I've got this single buckling back here that really wants to play, and he might make things a little difficult. Okay, so once kidding is over and everything is settled, then what? Here's a quick timeline of kid care during their first few months. At about 3 days old, I like to give my kids Probios. These are just probiotics, and it can help jumpstart their rumen. Next up is disbudding. If you choose to dehorn your goats, you need to disbud them when they are about 1 to 1.5 weeks old. Timing will vary a bit on the goat. Some goats' horns will develop faster than others. So just keep an eye on the horn bud and judge when it is time to disbud. Disbudding should not happen after 2 weeks of age. If you plan on doing some sort of Coccidia prevention with your kids, then that should start about 3 to 4 weeks of age. Now, vaccinations. If you choose to vaccinate your goats with the CD&T vaccine, there are 2 age ranges that you need to remember. If you are vaccinating from kids, if you're vaccinating kids from an unvaccinated mother, or if you don't know their vaccination history, then you should give them their first shot at 3 to 4 weeks old. If they were born from a doe who received her vaccination during the last month of pregnancy, then the kids should get their first shot at about 6 weeks of age. In both cases, kids should also get a booster at 3 to 4 weeks later. At about 6 weeks old, I like to start our goats on our herbal preventative for worms. They don't tend to like the herbs at this age, so sometimes you have to mix the powder with water and drench them. If you have bucks that you plan on castrating, then that can happen after 6 weeks. Really, the later the better to prevent potential problems later in life. So 8 to 10 weeks is okay for banding and castrating as well. Goats need regular hoof trimming, and I start checking my kids' hooves at about 8 weeks. Not all of them need it then, but I do start checking their feet regularly when I do the rest of the herd. What are you doing? And finally, weaning. I prefer to keep my kids on milk for at least 10 to 12 weeks. Some bucklings with good growth and those who need to be kept separate to prevent early breeding can be weaned at 8 weeks. I also tend to keep my kids, my doelings and wethers, with their moms and just let the doe wean them naturally. I'll just lock them up at night, separate from their mom to milk her once in the morning. But just take special care of them during the time of weaning to prevent too much stress. So that's it. That's your basic timeline for caring for kids from the first few days to weaning. I do have a checklist listing all of these things in my goat management binder, and the link to that is down below this video. See you next time.